Damian, obviously great being back in South Africa. Another season for you in Japan. And how good is it being back in South Africa and linking up with a couple of guys you haven't seen in a long time?
Yeah, morning everyone. Yeah, it's always, I must say, it's always special coming back home to South Africa. I've been lucky enough to travel the world, play rugby, and see some beautiful places, but there's nothing like South Africa. I know I'm from Cape Town, but it will be very biased, but it's by far the best city in the world. It's the most beautiful city in the world, and there's a lot of things to do there. So yeah, every time coming back to South Africa, and then especially going back to Cape Town, I always get a little excited feeling in my body, like I'm a little kid going home again. So it's always, yeah, I love it. And I play rugby overseas in Japan at the moment, but nothing excites me more than coming home back to South Africa.
You achieved so much in rugby. You asked similar questions to Evan as well. What keeps you going? What keeps you motivated? What's there still to do?
Yeah, I think a third World Cup would be great to finish off a long career. But for me, it's just the enjoyment of the rugby, especially playing in Japan. The game's a lot faster there compared to what I played in the past in other leagues. So yeah, for me, it's I know after achieving so much in rugby, sometimes it's you lose motivation. But for me, I think it's inspired me more personally to get better and just try and enjoy my rugby more and play with a bit less freedom. I mean, a lot more freedom and a lot less pressure. So it feels like the older I get, the more I'm enjoying myself, and the less pressure there is on me and the less pressure I'm putting on myself. And I think it comes with age where you start learning about yourself a lot more, and you start learning that you can enjoy your rugby or your sport a lot more, knowing that you only have a few more years left in you, which is my case at the moment. But yeah, at the moment I'm really enjoying my rugby, and I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I've improved my game a lot, and that's the most important thing. I think if I was going backwards at this age, then I'd have to go have a good look at myself in the mirror and just be honest with myself. But at the moment, I'm still really enjoying myself, and I can feel I'm improving every day.
There was, I saw you played 10 a couple of times there in Japan as well. Is that perhaps an option? Yeah.
No, I don't think it'll be an option here. I played a couple times this year. I played a couple times last year as well, which is quite nice. A lot different. But yeah, it was just because we were short on cover at 10. And yeah, Robbie Deans just put me in there in case something happened in the season, in case it was a big disaster. But it was more just so that I get a feel at 10 if something does have to happen. But yeah, it was a good experience and I really enjoyed it. But I don't think it's for me, especially at this level.
Damian, do you see yourself following in Andre's footsteps and maybe ending your career in South Africa, seeing that you love it so much here?
Yeah, I think about it a lot. I got 2 more seasons left in Japan, so my contract finishes in 2027, and I really enjoy it there. But yeah, my body still feels very good at the moment. Now, obviously, see how my body is next year and the year after, and how I am mentally, and if I can keep up with rugby moving forward. But ideally, I would love to finish in South Africa, and I would only want to finish in Cape Town. So if the chance does come for me to finish in Cape Town, and I can play a season or 2 in Cape Town in South Africa for the Stormers and Western Province, I would love to. But yeah, we'll see when the time comes, when it gets closer to the end of my contract. Yeah, but I don't see myself playing anywhere else besides coming back to Cape Town.
Damian, hello. Next Tuesday will be the 30th anniversary of the 1995 World Cup, and it seems to be a pivotal moment in the history of your country. You were very young, but how did you look at it? Is it still something important? Do you still look up the players of 1995?
Yeah, it's quite tough because I was only, I think, 3 or 4 years old at the time. but obviously growing up and learning about some of the history of South African rugby, it's incredible to see, and the way we can celebrate it, we must always celebrate it and enjoy it, because I don't think we'd be the team who we are now without them, and we must always enjoy and embrace that. So yeah, I know we've been very successful over the past few years, but a lot of the success comes from 1995, where they actually gave us the motivation and inspiration to know that we can become a great rugby nation. So I think it all started in 1995, but yeah, like I said, it's quite tough because I was very young at the time, but yeah, we still use it as motivation and inspiration.
Damian, there's a bit of a misconception about you just being a crash baller, and having looked at your games that you made against England, the way you pass about this next level. Do you take to heart any of this misguided almost comments people make about you, or do you just ignore social media comments people? Because what they're saying is not who you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's quite tough, because I think sometimes with fans, once they fixated on something about a player, it just sticks with that fan and the player. It's like a agreement between themselves and the player, and it just sticks with them through their whole career. But no, it doesn't affect me. I know I've improved a lot. I also understand that rugby is a dominant sport, so for us to play and achieve things on the field, we need dominance, and we need to go forward. And understand that sometimes I had to do the dirty work to put the forwards on the front foot and the rest of the guys on the front foot, but it wasn't just only me. But yeah, it's also, I understand the basics of rugby. If you do the basics well, you can put your team in good spaces. So yeah, I've learned a lot over the past few years. I've learned that moving the ball can open up more space, not just for yourself, but for the guys around you as well. But yeah, I still know that sometimes we're going to have to grind it out and carry the ball in 2 or 3 forwards and try and get momentum and try and get the guys over the advantage line. So yeah, for me it doesn't affect me. I understand what we want to achieve on the field, and the way we have to achieve it is by being dominant.
In your combination with Jesse also had an exceptional season this year. You're looking forward to matching with teaming up.
Yeah, always. Yeah, we have a great friendship. We try and see each other quite often in Japan. We meet up for dinner and stuff and just have a catch up. And yeah, we get along very well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Whether him and I play, or a guy like Ethan coming onto the scene now, that's had a great season as well in the URC, and obviously Andre and Luki helping him at the Sharks. So no matter which one of the centre pairings play, we'll make sure that we're always prepared and ready to achieve on the field.
Damian, they mentioned, well, you obviously mentioned Jesse now, but Russie earlier said that they see a guy like Ethan Hook as a centre. You know, a young guy. Are you looking forward to maybe playing alongside a youngster like that this season a bit, if you get the chance, and maybe looking to impart some knowledge on a guy who could have a very long career for the Springboks, you know, starting now?
Yeah, definitely. I think I can learn a lot from Ethan. The way he's played in the URC this season has been incredible. I think he's been the backbone of the Sharks backline. He's always going forward. He's very dominant. I'd love to train with him a bit more and obviously play with him, just to get a good feel from him with his communication on the field and stuff. So I have trained alongside him a bit. It hasn't been that much, but he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think he's got a great future, and Jesse, Andre, Luki and myself will do the best we can to make sure that we can give him as much knowledge as possible, and when he does get the opportunity, that he's ready and he can just go out there and express himself.
In terms of looking back to last season, working with Tony Brown, I mean, how important was that in terms of you evolving as a player, also then certain new aspects of your game just evolving, and how important was that to you, and how much are you looking forward to working with you and players?
Yeah, it's not just for myself, but for us as a whole group, for us as a rugby nation country, rugby playing country. I think it was massively important to get someone like Tony Brown in. to test our skills and to teach us new skills, and to teach us how to move the ball before contact and when to move the ball. Obviously, rugby is changing, the rules are changing. You can see already in some of the competitions, the refs don't want to give penalties anymore at scrum time. So the rugby, I think they're trying to make the game a bit more dynamic. So we have to improve and we have to develop our game so that even if we get dominance at scrum time, we might not get the penalty. So we must just be ready to be able to play rugby like Tony Brown wants us to play. And we're on the right path. That's the most important thing. I think for a lot of us old guys, I think we've learned a lot over the past year through Tony. And it's been incredible to see the development of the forwards, especially with their skills and stuff. So, yeah, I think this year we'll go from strength to strength. But I think by next year and the year after, going into the World Cup, I think it's going to be a very exciting time for South African rugby with the development of the players around Tony Brown.
You spoke about your longevity and what you've achieved. You said your body's feeling quite good right now. If I'm not mistaken, you're several games away from 100 caps. Is that a motivating factor at all on the mind?
Yeah, a little bit is, but I must say, I'd love to achieve it. But if it doesn't happen, it's not, for me, it's not the end of the world. If it does happen, it'll be flippin' special and I'll really cherish it and enjoy it. But if it doesn't happen, for me, at least I know I gave it my everything and I left it all out there and I gave it the best chance possible. So I'll just take it as it comes. If I get the opportunity to play again, I'll put both hands up. I'll train week in and week out to make sure the team is better. But yeah, like I said, it's for me, if it happens, it happens. It'll be a great achievement. But for me, if it doesn't, it won't be the end of the world. I know I've had a long career, and I've had a very enjoyable career. I've made some great mates. I've made some great memories with them on and off the field, and that will stick with me for a lot longer than just the amount of test matches itself.
Damian, you've worked a lot with Rob Deans now. He's coaching the Barbarians next week. Is there anything you expect, or anything you can impart to the team, that the way he coaches or the players or anything like that?
Yeah, I've spoken to some of the coaches, spoken to Felix and Jerry a bit from the attacking side. Obviously, I love Panasonic. I love the way we play rugby. I love that Robbie Deans has taught me a lot. But my country comes first. So, yeah, I have a lot of respect for Robbie and Ash, our attack coach, is also the attack coach of Barbarians next week. And they've taught me a hell of a lot in Japan and how to identify space and moving the ball and stuff. But yeah, it's going to be challenging because Robbie and Ash will want the guys to move the ball around. And I think the challenge will be, especially when they play the Barbarians, they want a loose game. But I think Robbie and Ash will get them to move the ball around in a structured environment. They'll get that structure right quite quickly. And luckily for Loert and myself, we know quite a bit of the structure, so we don't know what exactly they will do, but we might have an idea of what they will try and bring.
Happy? Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.